What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Are you like
To the-
dropping an album? Like I thought you was about to freestyle there.
Well,
like,
I feel like this looks very much so like an album cover set. Like I feel
Oh.
like I'm kind of in the middle. You want to do an album cover pose? Maybe just like a quick.
oh, do people still do this on their album covers?
I don't
like,
know. How do you put? I feel like people's face aren't on their album covers anymore. It's always something super dramatic. Like you don't know what it could be.
Yeah, like them dipped in tar. Like it's just I don't
Dipped
know. And it's the
in
first thing that
tar.
Okay, so clearly we need some help deciding what would be a hot album cover. So just drop it in the comments. Like,
Yeah. Does this
I
look like
mean,
an album cover? Would you buy this album?
I'm just saying dipped in tar would be hot because it's hot tar. Okay, sorry. Let me stop. All right, so it is the midweek show, and
Midweek show. My name is Xavier.
and I am Randy.
And we are part of your host for today. The
Yes.
reason I say we're part of your host is because, remember, we want you to be hosting the midweek
Yes.
show. So if you want to sign up and say that, hey, you want to help out with what we do here, either in front of or behind the camera, we have something for you to do. You can sign up in the comments below.
Yeah, we actually had some students join us this past Sunday, and we had some kids sign up to say, hey, you know what, I have some ideas. I want to be on the show. So I'm excited. We've got some cool things coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, next couple of weeks are going to be fun. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Ms. Randy, before we get started, tell me what has been the most exciting thing that happened to you in the last 7 days. So Wednesday to Wednesday, most exciting thing that's happened in the past 7 days.
Oh, man. Okay, so, not to sound super churchy, but I went to church. And
Oh, that's good.
it's just really, I forgot how much I miss church, and a lot of our students were here that I haven't seen in literally months, and it was just great to see you. So if you were here this weekend, you made my
Yep.
whole week. That was my highlight. What are you excited about?
I'm actually similar to you. I'm excited because I did miss people. But last week, my wife made a quiche. I know I always talk about food, but quiche. I may not know what broiling is, but I know what quiche is. So if you've had a quiche, just let me know down in the chat. But quiche is fire. I'm gonna put y'all on if you've never.
It was
had
a
quiche
life-changing quiche.
It was a life-changing quiche. It was that good.
Y'all, only fancy people eat quiche in the middle of the week. Most people only have that at brunches and socials. But I don't know. Maybe y'all wake up and eat quiche.
I didn't know what quiche was before I got married. My wife upgraded my food repertoire.
Yes.
in
Y'all,
that way.
hand claps for Xavier's wife. It's one thing for a man to realize when he needs upgrading. It's another thing for him to actually find it. You wouldn't say him who finds
A wife
Finds
find it a good
a
thing.
good,
A really good thing.
good thing.
You know what else I've been excited about?
Okay.
LeBron James.
Oh.
So you don't know. But
Oh.
LeBron James put away the Denver Nuggets after everybody said that they were going to come back from down 3-1 like they did on the Jazz, like they did on the Clippers, who everybody said would beat the Lakers. And the Lakers literally beat the Nuggets 4-1, which is a pretty big deal.
Is that okay? I'm just really excited because I thought that this was going to be like one of those LeBron James, Michael Jordan conversations. But okay, have you
Nope.
always been a LeBron James fan, or you been kind of bandwagon?
No. I've always been a LeBron James fan. I have
Okay.
not always been a Lakers fan. And even now, I don't claim to be a Lakers fan. I am a LeBron James supporter.
Okay, so top 3 reasons why do you love LeBron James so much?
I'm so glad that you asked that
Are you?
question. Yes.
Now I
I'm
kind of
so
regret
glad
that I
you
asked.
that question.
Okay.
Here we go. Top 3 reasons I love LeBron James.
This sounds like an infomercial.
It does sound like an infomercial.
It's okay. Go on.
I'm not trying to sell you anything, I promise. Top 3 reasons I'm a LeBron James supporter. Number 1 is longevity.
Okay.
New dictionary word I learned. Longevity means how long he's been doing something. LeBron James has been in the NBA 17 years.
Oh, that's pretty.
Longer than most of you have been alive. For as
Yeah.
long as you've been alive, he's been a top 3 basketball player. That is ridiculous. And even now, he's one of the best basketball players in the league. 17 years.
Okay, cool.
Number 2, probably the most important, is his track record, not just of performance, but of just being a good guy. married to his high school sweetheart, never cheated as far as we know, never had any scandal, is a good father to his kids, doesn't have any illegitimate kids. He is supportive of the community.
You've done your research.
Great community figure. He is all around a good guy.
Okay, so longevity, character, and what's the third one?
The number 3, longevity, character. And then the third one was, I had it. It was at the tip of my tongue. His dedication to his craft.
Okay. I can respect
released,
that. Okay.
I don't know if you saw it or maybe you guys saw it. It said LeBron James spends $1.5 million per year just taking care of his body.
Oh, okay. Wait, you say million?
Million.
Okay.
Just to make sure that he can do what he does at the highest level.
And we don't think that's excessive because why?
Because 17 years.
Okay.
17 years. I don't know anybody who's been great at anything for 17 years. I know people that can't rap after 17 years. They can't sing after 17 years, let alone play a sport at the highest level for 17 years. So that's what I'm going to go. But that concludes my LeBron James segment. And it actually brings up another segment.
Oh.
A segment we're calling the Meme of the Week. It's time for the Meme of the Week.
Y'all, he totally just made that up on the spot.
Meme of the Week. Time for the Meme of the Week. Oh, Meme of the Week.
Are you going to share the Meme of the Week?
Yes, I actually have a couple of memes.
Okay,
The first
cool.
one, actually, we created this segment. The first one is actually a meme that I created. It's my Meme of the Week, and it's about everybody who's not a LeBron James supporter. Here you go. It's up on the screen now. I'm showing Miss Randy on my iPad. This is the Meme of the Week. This is so
I just don't understand how one could create a meme that no one else has ever seen and then declare the Meme of the Week.
It's one of the memes of the week.
No, this is Pastor Xavier's meme. But, can we see some real memes that
It's my
people
first
actually sent in?
I created it. Okay, here's some that people have created and sent in. Number 1, sweet tea, unsweet tea.
Oh, my goodness. You should not be laughing that hard.
It's so corny that it's funny. Like unsweet tea because he's angry. Ow, I'm getting a cramp. Ow. It really was.
Clearly, you're not spending 1.5 on your body.
I'm not. Clearly, I'm not. Yo,
You need to be
I
inspired.
I really have a cramp. This is so weird.
Do we need to put up one of those, we'll be right back things so you can go walk the cramp off?
Ow.
Pray
Okay.
for your pastor.
I'm okay. I need some mustard. You ever heard that mustard helps out with cramps?
No. Y'all, have y'all heard that mustard helps out with cramps? I've heard that bananas help with cramps.
Never heard.
You've
that a day in my
never?
life.
Oh, you know what? You weren't an athlete in high school, or college. Bananas.
Anyway,
It's a real thing.
this is like a Jesus meme. It says paralyzed, walks, blind. Oh, you can walk? Mute. Oh, you can see? Deaf. Oh, you can talk? Doctor. You get it?
I don't.
No. So the paralyzed man got up and walked, but the blind man saw him walk. And then the mute man said, oh, you can see?
Oh.
Because he's mute, he couldn't.
Yeah, and the
Deaf man said, I heard you, but he's deaf, and he said, I heard you say, never mind.
Okay. I guess it's not that funny if you have to explain it.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, but you know what? Can we go ahead and hop into our actual topic and conversation for today? Because I'm a little excited about it because there's just some things that we need to address because there's some things that we need to stop doing right now. So check out this quick video and then we're going to talk about it. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Randy Jones and this is Trending. As a society, we spend so much time thinking about, shopping for, anticipating the reaction of other people, and then changing our minds about what we're going to wear each day. And if you're a Christian, it becomes a little bit harder, but if you're a Christian woman, it can be a little complicated because now we have to consider this little thing called modesty. Now, when we think about it, modesty is about so much more than what we wear. It's about our thoughts, it's our heart, it's our intentions behind why we present ourselves to the world the way that we choose to do so. When we turn to the Bible, it doesn't have a lot to say about this particular topic, but in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9, it says that women are to present themselves to the world in a way that is respectable, modest, and appealing. Now, this highlights the first issue when it comes to modesty, and that is As a society, we never have and we never will find a way to agree on what is modest and what is not modest. But if we want to just pause for a moment and just move away from trying to come up with a comprehensive list of what's acceptable to wear and what's not acceptable to wear, and really dig down into the issue behind the issue, then we can say that modesty really shows what we care about and is really about how we present ourselves to the world. But furthermore, modesty is an issue of identity. So before you get dressed each day and walk out of your house, there are 3 simple questions that you can ask yourself to really, really drill into where your identity lies. And the first one is, why do you wear what you wear? Now, when we think about that, we want to pause for a moment and really think about, why is it that we do a lot of the things that we do? A lot of us need to do the work to figure out why it is that we think the way that we think and what really makes us tick. What do you really know about your personality? What drives you in life? For a lot of us that feel the need to impress others with what we wear, it goes down a little deeper into what motivates us. Some of us are motivated by the desire to be accepted by others. We lack confidence. We lack self-integrity. We need people to affirm us in order for us to feel good about ourselves. Now, some of us, we don't need that. We tend to maybe go in the opposite direction and completely don't care about what other people think. But modesty says that not only will I care enough to present myself in a way that doesn't overshow or overrepresent or overaccentuate my body, but modesty also says that I care enough about myself to make sure that when I step out of my house each day, that I will display the best part of me, the part of me that doesn't need anybody to tell me that I'm beautiful, the part of me that doesn't need anybody to think that I am worth more, but the part of me that represents and reflects Christ. The second question is, what is my goal when I get dressed in the morning? When we think about what we wear has the tendency to communicate a lot about who we are, what we do, how wealthy we are, how much money we may or may not have. And some of us are telling lies with how we dress. We are buying things that we can't afford to impress people that we don't even know. But to answer this question, I actually want us to think about modesty in reverse. So when it comes to immodesty says that I will dress and I will present myself in a way that is self-appealing to me, that is self-serving. Immodesty says that I want people to look at me and to be impressed and to think that I'm beautiful and to think that I'm sexy and to be impressed by my muscles. Yes, guys, modesty applies to men too, but to be impressed by what I present and what I display. But when it comes to modesty on the other side, it says that my goal when I get dressed in the morning is not to cause anyone to stumble when they look at what I'm wearing. I want to dress in a way that allows people to look at me and to see that I'm confident, and not because of the brand or the price tag on what I bought, but to really, really be able to look past my clothes and to judge me based on my conversation and my actions, not by what I'm wearing. The third and final question that we want to ask ourselves before we walk out of the house each day is, who do we represent by what we wear? We should represent Christ not only through our actions and our words, but really in how we present ourselves. We shouldn't want to dress in a manner that makes people have to work hard to forget about what we wore each time they interact us. We shouldn't dress in a way that makes people have to divert their eyes when they're trying to have conversations with us, but we should dress in a manner that reflects Christ. And if we think back really quickly to that verse in 1 Timothy chapter 2:9, it says that we should dress in a manner that displays respect. And I think for a lot of you, you're going to have to do the work to figure out what it means for you to be respected. Does respect say that those people that once thought I was so great and so beautiful and I called my friends no longer respect and love me when I don't wear the nice things and have the new things and when I'm not popping tags? Respect for yourself means that people know you wholly inside and out, and it's not about just the things that you have and the things that you wear. So the next time you get dressed in the morning, don't just check the mirror, do a heart check. Really check your heart to determine why and what and how and who and all these things that go into determining where your identity lies.
That was good stuff. That was fire. You got to drop some fire emojis down in the chat from Miss Randy. You know, she be dropping that knowledge, that wisdom, them nuggets.
Yeah. So, okay.
Chick-fil-A nuggets at that. The good nuggets.
Does Chick-fil-A have good nuggets?
Yes. What do you mean? Okay. We cannot get sidetracked.
Okay. Y'all, I don't know why. We always come back to food, but we're going to try to stay focused. Okay.
The point is, we had this conversation about modesty, and what I felt like I heard you say overall is that modesty oftentimes it's not exclusively an external issue. Sometimes it is an external issue, but sometimes it really has a lot to do with what we are thinking or feeling or displaying on the inside.
Yeah, and I think I would probably almost clarify that even in the times where there's something that we're compensating for externally, let's say maybe we're overweight or we don't love the shape of our bodies, that's still an internal issue. So it's always an issue of what's in our hearts and how we feel about ourselves, even for men, because let's not forget that there are ways that men can be immodest. Like, we don't need to see your biceps, put them away. Like, you know, guys that just be flexing all the time.
I do know guys that just be flexing all the time.
They know what they be doing.
We do know. Us super strong, athletic NFL types, we know what we be doing. We apologize collectively.
Us?
All of us. We apologize. I mean, what can we say, man? I mean, we just in crazy shape.
Okay, so as I was saying, it is always exclusively an internal issue because how we dress, it communicates. When we dress, we have goals. Like, if you are going in for a job interview, you're going to dress a certain way, as opposed to if you were, you know, going on the basketball court and you wanted them to take you serious as a baller. It's the same thing with women. We are typically super intentional. I wouldn't say they were usually always aware, but we know that we dress certain ways for certain situations to achieve certain goals. Yeah.
It's so touchy. Just as a man and as a guy, you just struggle to talk and speak into, you know, situations like that. But I definitely can say that I, even growing up, like, there are different ways that things are perceived, right or wrong. And I think that part of it is managing as men, managing our responsibility of, they call it making a mountain out of a molehill and making something bigger than it should be. But then also managing loving our sisters in Christ enough, those close enough to us, to be willing to speak in love and help spread kind of some self-awareness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. And I think that brings us to a really good point, that I think that men and women do have a different responsibility and a different role when it comes to the subject of modesty. And I know a lot of people will say that when it comes to this thing of modesty, that guys should just be able to control their eyes. Well, I mean, obviously God made y'all to be very visual people. And now some of you do need to learn how to manage. And I do think that as men, other men should teach men, you know, how to respect women, no matter whether they're dressing appropriately or inappropriately. But I think that as men also too, I think that a lot of times the only time that women get compliment is when they are going to an extreme with their appearance. But sometimes we just need to tell our sisters and, you know, our daughters that they're beautiful just because. Like, wouldn't you agree that, like, sometimes as men, y'all could do more just to affirm women, whether they're having a good hair day, a bad hair day, or whether they have on sweatpants or jeans? Because really, if we want to get to the root of it, a lot of times men set the expectation that beauty is just external.
I think, and I mean, this is a much, much deeper conversation. It definitely could be a topic on its own, but I think the responsibility of men even goes deeper than that, of thinking that the only things that you need to affirm are the physical appearance of your sisters, or even of somebody that you just met. But I think it's being able to put value in things that are not just physical appearance.
Yes.
And I think that, like you said, your family members are great people to learn to do that with. It is complimenting my mom on how much she cares, or maybe complimenting an older cousin or something like that as a man on how she responded to a situation, or her character, or literally any of those things will help the women around you not be so much in their heads about their appearance.
Yes. And as a a guy, a man who mentors younger men, what do you say to the young man that's struggling with his eyes?
Oh my goodness, this is not what the video was about.
I mean, okay, I know, and then we'll get back to women and modesty. But I mean, if we brought it up, I feel like we should help them deal with it. How do they walk through that?
I feel like one of the struggles, fellas, if I can talk to you right now, man to man, as if the ladies weren't watching, I feel like one of the struggles is the danger of, I'm gonna use another big word, incrementalism. Which means if there's a little bit allowed, then it normally ends up turning into a lot. Just smaller things by smaller things by smaller things. And then you hear all other types of things like the straw that broke the camel's back, meaning the camel was carrying a lot and then one thing happened and it caused this whole fallout. Or all of those things. And I feel like when it comes to controlling your eyes, it is literally learning to discipline yourself to not look, think, or act in a certain way. I think oftentimes you'll give yourself permission to say, I can look as long as I don't act or as long as I don't lust or anything like that. But I think that the more you can discipline your eyes, your brain, and all of that stuff to not even look, the more you will be successful in the long run. And so I would say if you're struggling, it starts with taking one step away. It starts with saying, hey, I'm not going to look, whether it is you're struggling with like pornography or something like that, then it's cutting that out. If you're struggling with looking at your sisters in Christ as objects and not as women, then it starts with making steps towards seeing their value and identity. And it's finding wherever you are and then making a step in the right direction.
That's good. Okay, cool. So we've talked about the role of the man when it comes to this topic of modesty. But I think for the women, okay, let me speak as what our role is for older women who are trying to guide those after us. I think we also have a responsibility to do affirmation to help affirm that the women that we're pouring into, just remind them that they're beautiful inside and out. But also, too, I think we have to model it. Now, when I say model it, modeling is what you do, but also if you do have a relationship with someone, there are some intentional conversations that you can have. Now, granted, you do have to have a relationship with someone, so if you are discipling or mentoring someone, you can speak into what they're wearing. But if I don't know someone on a personal level, I don't judge what she's wearing, because typically I don't want to address the appearance. I want to address the emotion or the feeling in their heart that says I have to dress a certain way to get a certain attention to achieve a goal. And a lot of times what you're really trying to drill down to is the insecurity or even like the pride. Sometimes it's not an issue of I don't love the way I look. Sometimes it's I think I look too great. And I think everybody needs to see this and see me because I am great. Look out, world.
That's good.
And we've all seen those girls.
Yeah, I want to ask a question based off that, though. Like, what is the problem with being immodest? So, like, on TikTok, I'll be up there.
You be up there.
I'll be up there. That's just the way it is. I'm learning so much about how you guys think from TikTok. Legitimately. Like, stuff has like 500,000 shares. I'm like, oh, this is commonly kind of understood. They call it, on TikTok, it's this thing called body positivity, which is I show my body because I want the world to know that I'm proud regardless of what it looks like. If it looks bad, so what? If it looks good, so what? And I'm literally proud of everything that God's given me, from both guys and girls. Guys kind of being out, six-pack, all of that type of stuff. Literally using the baby oil to make it look better, like guys be having baby. I'm not even joking.
They do. I know. I've seen it.
They do. And the same thing for ladies. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with being positive, having it out there, flaunting it? What is the problem with all of that?
Yeah, and so I think I'll put it this way. We don't want to present ourselves in a way that people have to work hard to forget about what they've seen after we've left the room. If that makes sense. So if the reason is because yes, you can control what you look like, but you can't control what other people think, and you never know what someone else is struggling with or what an interaction with you and how you're dressed with your body positivity would now lead someone into this really just kind of send them down this hole of like impure thoughts and impure actions. And so really it's more so about just you do it for your brother, you do it for your sister, because what if that's what they struggle with? It's just like if you struggle with cupcakes, I can't come around here with fresh it's food again.
You always go back to food.
I think I'm hungry.
You must be hungry.
I'm going to use better analogies
I
next
think
time.
you bring up a good point, which is I have to consistently, it's really about not causing my brother or sister to stumble in whatever it is that they have going on. And that goes not just into modesty and how we dress, but conversations that we have.
Yes.
Like being pure in our conversations and saying, hey, I probably shouldn't talk about this. I shouldn't make this joke. I shouldn't refer to this. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that, because I'm trying to protect the other people around me. And it's not even that I'm a horrible person, because there are people that's like, hey, I don't do it because I'm trying to, provoke anybody. But it's not that I'm trying to provoke, but I just have to be careful and try my best to protect the people around me.
Yes.
If you think about, it's like you wouldn't allow, and this example, I haven't thought through this, it's just something that I just thought about. It's kind of like if I have a younger sibling.
Okay.
And have you ever seen those little covers that you put on the electricity socket?
Yes.
You cover the electrical socket up, not because the socket within itself is dangerous in the moment, but to the immature, if they see that, they can use it in the wrong way or anything like that, and ultimately end up hurting themselves and messing up the socket. And so you cover up the socket not just because it's dangerous in itself, but because you want to protect all of those involved.
Right.
And I think the same can go for modesty and thought, that there are things that you need to cover up.
You just...
My goodness, cover it up. Things that you need to cover up because you don't know the maturity level of the people around you. And oftentimes, as the Christian and the mature person, male or female, in the situation, you cover up things and you don't have certain conversations, say certain things, wear certain things, because you're trying to protect those involved.
Yes, that's good. And I think to add on to that, so, I mean, one reason is you do it for other people, you want to protect others, but also, too, I want to dress modest and present myself in a way that reflects God. And if the only way people have to describe me and to define me is based on my physical appearance, how can I ever begin to influence people with my mind and with my salvation story? Because they can't get past what they see. Well, I want them to see me on a much deeper level. Like, I don't want to be known as that girl that looks X, Y, and Z and wears X, Y, and Z. Yes, she fly, but what else do we know about her? Like, we probably can all think of people that we know are really, really pretty, but outside of that, what else is there to their personality and to their character? Well, it's because they care so much more about how they look than really about how they feel and what they believe in and what they believe about themselves.
That's so good. I think that's a good place to kind of wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, wow, we tried to cover a lot in a short amount of time, but we know that this conversation could be a whole lot deeper. So, yeah, if you are struggling with this area of modesty, just let us know. We can chat with you one-on-one. Reach out to us. We would love to keep the conversation going with you.
Absolutely. Remember, you can text us in your different memes of the week.
Memes.
You can text us. You can text us. You can text us your memes of the week, or if you have topics that you want us to cover or whatever it is, you can send them in to us. Like I said, we just appreciate you for being here, and we're going to see you guys again next week.
Yes, and please text in your memes so we can have a better selection.
My meme was fire.
All right, that's all the time we got for today. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good week.
Next week, meme of the week. Meme of the week.
Y'all, that's what I have to deal with. Y'all have a good night. It's going to beatbox out.